easier than you probably think.
Salon owners are some of the most amazing people on planet Earth. The only problem is sometimes their hearts are so big and they give so much of themselves to their staff and guests that it creates unintended consequences. Our goal is to change the industry by elevating the way the rest of the world sees salons, spas, and barbershops and give it the credibility that it truly deserves. This is the Salon Owner Evo Revo Show.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Salon Scale, allowing you to charge by what you know, not by what you feel. Hey guys, welcome to today's Salon Owner Evo Revo Show. I'm Jason Everett, your host, and today we're going to be talking all about how do you get more appointments and book more appointments inside the salon by getting your phone to ring. I think even though online booking is massive, I still think that getting your phone to actually ring and people calling you and saying, hey, do you do this? Do you do that? Is that something that you guys do? And asking those questions is super important. And I think one of the things that can really trip you up in general is this idea that the phone is dead. Don't think that the phone is dead, because the phone is still the way that people are calling, booking appointments. And although online booking is super, super important, and you're almost dead if you don't have that done, making sure the phone can ring is a big important deal. And whether it's getting them to book online, booking on the phone, or just getting them to get some eyeballs up in your salon, I've got an expert today, Lucas, who runs Salon.Marketing, who's with us today. So what's up, Lucas? How are you, man?
What's up, Jason? Great. How about yourself?
Dude, so good to have you on today. Just so you guys know, Lucas actually came in and did a session with our High Performance Salon Academy members where he talked about kind of the biggest mistakes that salon owners make as far as what they do online, their online presence, their website, their Google page, all that stuff that's on. And by the way, do me a favor, type in "What's up, Lucas" in the chat, and also do me a favor and type in, if you're on the line with us live right now, I'd love for you to type in on whatever channel, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, or anything else that you can find us live. Do me a favor and type in where you are on the line from, because I like to know where we get. We always get people from all over the world, and especially, of course, here in North America, where Lucas and I are hanging out. And Lucas, just so everybody knows, where are you from? We're in Cali. Where are you?
We are located in Savannah, Georgia.
Dude, it just sounds fancy when you say Savannah. That's all I'm saying. Savannah. I like it. Yeah, I like it, dude. Fancy. So yeah, dude, glad to have you on. You gave some amazing tips to our group. They were everybody literally had pages of notes after you came in and started talking. And what you'll love about, we already got Vancouver, BC. We're already international. So thanks for joining us and being on with us today. So yeah, I mean, they were taking tons of notes and loved all your content. So we had to have you on a podcast. And by the way, if you want your phone to ring, do me a favor and just type the word phone in the chat. I'd love to just make sure that that's moving for you. But Lucas, what are some of the biggest mistakes? Because you guys do marketing, you do websites, you do SEO, you do all kinds of digital marketing. What are some of the biggest mistakes that you've seen that people make when it comes to marketing themselves online? What are some of the biggest mistakes you see?
Most of the salons that we work with and have talked to in the past, they have a website, but that was the extent of their marketing. Their digital marketing is, hey, I've got a website up. Yeah, it's supposed to work.
I turned it on, I paid somebody, or I built out. This is the one I see, Lucas. I built out my Wix website, and it said that if I built it, they would come, right? Like there's a website, and then I just send people to it. I put the link in my Instagram bio, and magically, clearly, everybody's going to now call me because I've got a pretty picture or two on my website. Or worse, they spend thousands of dollars on a pretty looking website, and it doesn't really work that well.
For sure, yeah. I mean, your website is not the field of dreams. It is just not going to happen. We're moving in a new direction. In the past, really 10 years, the salon industry is catching up. We're getting there. As a salon owner myself, I understand and know what's going on inside the salons. And now that websites are turning more into lead generation tools instead of fancy brochures, we're really kind of flipping the script on traditional web design and web build. When you think of, hey, I need a really pretty, well-designed, graphically designed website.
Yeah, and I think this is super important, as you mentioned this, is that so your wife and you own a salon, but you have a marketing background. I mean, I think that's a big part of it, right? So like you've got a marketing background, your wife's been a stylist now. How long has she been a stylist for?
Gosh, 15 years now.
Yeah. Okay, so she's been, yeah. So, and again, between the two of you guys, like if you were in the Savannah area and you did any sort of searching or looking for salons in Savannah, you would see their salon. So just so they know, what's the name of your salon again, Lucas?
Roots Southern Salon.
Roots Southern Salon. Also fancy. Love it. And yeah, I think it's one of those things where you solve this problem for your own salon, then you're like, hey, there's a lot of other salons that are doing this wrong. If you think that you might have a mistake or two on your website, or you might be doing something sideways in your marketing, would you do me a favor and type in the word sideways? Because I think, Lucas, this is a big deal. I think this is like the underrated secret of salons, is that marketing is this black hole that they don't really know what to do. So, as salon owners, we work with thousands of salons all over the country. And some of them do a pretty decent job of keeping their Facebook page up, maybe their Instagram page. But when it comes to their website, like I said, I see people who build their own. I see people who pay thousands of dollars to pay a graphics designer to build. Air quotes are important, right? Graphics designer for the, for them to build a pretty looking website. Because I think salons are really good at making things look pretty. But I think functional in the traditional marketing sense is what's wrong. So how do we make functional work inside of a website? What are some of the key elements of a functional marketing site?
So, when you're looking at your website, you really want to make sure you have call to action items that can flow with your site. Yeah. And now mobile design is more important than ever. If you go look at your Google Analytics, you are probably running 75 to 80% mobile traffic to your salon website. That's what we see industry-wide all across the country. So mobile design is very, very important. So you want to give your website a design that flows well on someone's phone and gives the user the ability to call now, book now, buy a gift card, send us a contact form, book a bridal event, whatever it may be. You want to have those action items, not just somewhere on the site or a button under a certain paragraph. We recommend that those buttons stay with the user through the entire website experience. Yeah. This is a very visual industry, and for probably 10 years ago up until 2 years ago, or maybe even a year ago, social media has been pushed down the throats of salon owners tremendously.
That's the only thing. It's clearly like as long as you got that, you're covered.
Right, because it's such a visual industry. We put out, there are artists that are in this industry and they're putting out art, and it needs to be seen. So the best platform to do that are social media platforms. But the best place to acquire new clients may not be via social media channels. The way we look at it is the social media is your portfolio. Google is your client acquisition.
That's a good way to say it. And then, by the way, I've got your website up on my phone. I want you guys to see this for a second. I don't know if you can kick out the video just to straight over to me here for a second. But if you look at how this page is set up, this is the mobile friendly version, which I think is really interesting. Lucas, it just has like, boom, book now, find our location, because I'm sure people want to know, where are you located? Can I book an appointment? What about the salon? Bridal? I want to see some pictures, or join our team. Like, I assume these are the top 6 things that people are asking about when they hit up your website. And then at the very bottom, you've got, the call now, book now, and you've got the Instagram logo at the bottom so they can kind of go snoop your Insta, which I think is really smart, and this idea of being able to give them all this information really quickly is good. I think I told you this analogy before, but I've heard this where people online are like frantic monkeys looking for a banana. Right? They're like, whoo, 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 like, I want to get this done. And I don't know. I always thought that was an entertaining analogy, and I happen to have a banana on my desk, so it functioned today. But I'm just saying that this idea of people trying to find bananas is like everybody's these hungry monkeys. And, you go on a website. I always love when people say this to me, Lucas. They go, oh, well, if you read on that paragraph, it has all the instructions on the website. And I'm like, look, I don't know about you, but like, if I read everything that I ever looked up on a website, I would have never left my chair, and 15 years later, I would have navigated somebody's website, because if I sat and read all that text copy, like, I would never make it through the internet. So we do have to kind of like by default, and by the way, if you feel like a monkey sometimes when you're on the website trying to find those things, to be fair and say monkey, and it's not an insult to anybody, it's just literally saying like, that's what I am. I'm just like, get rid of all this crap. It's too much information. That's the thing I want, right? And this idea is that if you can make something super simple, like what Lucas you have designed on this page, which I assume this is the similar design that you do for other salons. I would assume you don't reinvent the wheel. It's very similar. And that's a big part of that. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. We went towards a app-like look for mobile devices for your webpage, and it makes complete sense, because just like you say, people are not reading. Everyone that goes to your website is not going to read everything on your website. Don't get me wrong. Right. There's going to be that one person that reads everything and says, well, hey, you said this in paragraph 74, right? But more often than not, they're trying to either get service prices or book an appointment or find a way to call you or get in touch with you. So we really want to deliver them the information that they're searching for very, very quickly, because the longer that they stay on the page, there's a give and take here. You want people to stay on your site a long time, but also you want them to be able to take an action as quick as possible. So,
for the algorithm, you want them on the page longer. But at the end of the day, you want them on the phone as soon as possible, right? Let's be clear.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think most people, when they do that, they're on the website to try and find your phone number or to snoop around for a minute. I mean, this isn't like, it's the same thing as like if somebody's spending an hour on your website because they're going to find something. The problem is their attention span is so short that they're probably not, if they're not getting what they want in the first, 30 to 60 seconds, they're probably going to leave anyway, unless they're looking through your photos and things like that. Then fine, and let them have that time there. Yeah.
That's exactly right. Yeah. We ideally get them to call as quick as possible, really.
Yeah. So Lucas, what are some other mistakes you see people make? So one is like building a website that's like, it's got a lot of text on it, not easy to convert, things like that. What are some other mistakes you see people make on their websites or even on their social media to get the people to call in and book? So
after the website and it's up, then the next mistake that we see is people are not tracking the website. They're just putting it up and expecting it to do its job, and then they don't know their numbers, so there's no way that they can say that it's working or not. So, tracking the site and tracking traffic and conversions and ranking, those are very, very important things to do for every salon owner. And I would say 99% of the salon owners do not have a clue what their conversions are on their website.
Yeah, like they don't know how many clients it takes to actually go from a website visitor to an actual phone call. And that's an important detail, because let's say, and I've heard this a lot, and I'm curious your numbers, Lucas, but if you have 100 visitors to the website, you should know, and just an easy math, right? Out of 100, how many of them actually book a phone call? Because let's say you had 1,000 visitors on your website and you only got one phone call booked, that would be terrible, versus 1 out of 100, 5 out of 100, 10 out of 100. Do you have any sort of idea, Lucas, of like website visitors to a conversion to a phone call? What the typical, what's maybe typical, and then what your goal is?
Yeah, absolutely. So, what we consider a conversion is not quite what the salon owner considers a conversion.
Right.
A salon owner considers a conversion a new client. Okay.
Right.
But what we consider a conversion is, did they click on the phone call button?
Right. Well, that's a conversion for the website. That's the only goal the website can do, is get somebody to click the button to make a phone call.
Or did they click the book now button? Did they click the gift card button? Those are what we all consider conversions. Yeah. And what we have seen is, most sites without a properly optimized design or conversion optimization are probably running around 5% conversions. Because the conversion actions may be so hard to find.
So five out of 100 are picking up the phone and clicking the button or whatever. That's kind of normal, 5%.
Yeah, that's probably standard industry right now. Once we conversion optimize the site, we strive for 30 to 40%.
Oh, so that's massively different.
We want 3 or 4 out of every 10 people that are on the site to do some sort of conversion action that we're trying to get them to do.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, again, I think one of the things that a lot of salons really miss, if I can throw one that I'm familiar with, because I mean, I've been in marketing since I was, the first ever marketing position I was 18 years old. So I've been in marketing for a hot minute, Lucas. Oh, yeah. We're the same age. You know how long that's been, right?
Sure.
So it's been a hot minute in marketing. And what I would say is a big part of what I think a lot of people get confused about, to your point, out of that, what do you say? You said 3 to 4 out of every 10.
Yeah.
right? 3 to 4 out of every 10. And of course, I got distracted on saying I've been in marketing since 18. I already forgot the thing that I was going to say. Damn it. It'll come back to me in just a second. Yeah, I love mistakes in real time. But anyway, I'll go back to your mistakes, and then when it hits me again, I'll throw it back out. But
Right.
anyway, man, what are some other conversion challenges or issues that you see from people?
So another one is Google My Business or Google Maps or Google 3-Pack or Snack Pack. You call it whatever you want to.
Okay.
It's Google My Business is what you log into to put your Google profile up or your Maps listing up. What we find a lot.
That's you search, like if I go on my phone, whether it's iPhone, Android, whatever, actually search salons, and then it says here's all the salons in the however far around you radius. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah. I mean, typically when you search hair salons, Savannah, GA, that you're going to get 3 map listings. Those are going to be if no one is running ads at the time, those are going to be at the very top of the page. So that's why Google My Business is so important to salons, because you want to be in that 3-pack, and you need to do everything you can do to get to that 3-pack. The big ranking factors for that 3-pack are reviews. First of all, do you have your profile filled out all the way, right? Is it completely filled out? Do you have your products and services listed? Do you have a bunch of photos? Do you have reviews? So that matters. And then Google also they crawl your website to see what can we pair up with this Google listing, because you've put your URL into your Google profile. So it links it and crawls that to see, does this match with what the person is searching for? Optimizing your Google My Business profile is very, very big. And we see a lot of salons that they have it and they turn it on and they sign up for it and they never use it again. So being active,
that's a problem.
Google My Business is important.
Yeah, so I remember what I was going to say. Thank God it came back to me, because I didn't want to say I've been in marketing since I was 18 and I couldn't remember what I was supposed to say. But what I was going to say, and you mentioned it in this Google My Business, is that it's location. And so since you mentioned it, I wanted to bring it up, is that I think a lot of people, especially salons, get in the spot where they get consumed by getting their follower count massive. And I'll tell you, if you want to get your follower count massive, I got a really easy way for you to do it. Go get a bunch of fans in a third world country. Go to India, and you can find a bunch of people that will like and follow your salon page. But that doesn't really do you any good, because those people are not in your local area. So as you mentioned, this location-based information, one of the things, apparently landscapers literally right outside my window right now during podcast. Awesome. I don't think I have any control over that, but hey, fellas. Anyway, this idea that you need to make sure that you advertise as locally focused as possible, right? Because again, I know somebody. I was here in Sacramento, and somebody said, "Oh my gosh, I see you're friends with somebody that I follow on social media, and they're from Virginia." And they happen to be in our High Performance Salon Academy. And they're like, "Oh my God, I love this person who's in Virginia." And I was like, well, yeah, but that's hilarious to me. It's like, why is that person in Virginia trying to get, clients or guests? And they're promoting, and somehow they're getting found out about over here in Northern California. It doesn't really help any new guests come into the salon. Like, if you're trying to get guests, you don't really want people all over the country paying attention to it. In fact, I love, I don't know if you know Matt Beck, but Matt Beck from Free Salon Education said something one time that really got my attention. He said, I go through our Instagram profile, and if somebody is following our salon that's not from my city, like it's not my thing. He's like, I'd like to 86 anybody who's on our page that's not from our local city, because it doesn't do me any good. Right? He's like, it's not helping, because those people are not going to come in the salon and actually book appointments. And he said, I'm only looking for people in my local area to follow that page, or to pay attention to what we're doing.
You mentioned location. That's, for years and years, a lot of salons base their success on, can I get an A or B location, right?
Yeah.
Physical, retail, real estate location. Now, a salon can be a destination, and you don't have to have that A and B real estate location, as long as you can take up the real estate on the front of the first page of Google. If you can take up 3 to 4 spots on the first page of Google, I can almost guarantee you will be successful at obtaining new clients if you have a website that can convert them to a new client. It's pretty simple math.
Yeah, and for you for you old schoolers, like Lucas and I'm still going to consider us old schoolers here, Lucas, because we were around for the old school and the new school, and we're leading the new school. That's how I look at this, okay? Is that for you old schoolers that had phone books, all right, if you're going to sell yourself out, do me a favor and type phone books. If you were around for phone book days, okay? Is it phone book day? And I'm not talking about, we were talking about phone books, and I've got a bunch of crew that are in their early 20s on my staff. They're like, yeah, I've seen them. They're like this big, they get dropped off. I'm like, no. I'm talking about the big ones. I'm talking the stack of phone books, the one that you could sit on in your car to be a booster seat because it was that big. That's what I'm talking about, old school phone books. Oh, yeah. Is that occupying that page 1 on Google is like having a giant full page ad in the yellow pages back in the day. Yeah. Leah remembers phone books. Thank you, Leah, for saying that there's people who remember these things.
Or name your salon, AAA Salon.
Right. Yeah. It was like AAA plus Salon. And all of a sudden, AAA plus, your #1 listing. You got the biggest ad in the yellow pages, and all of a sudden you're there. So between that #1 spot on Google, between the optimize so that people can convert and actually come in, are there any hot tips about like things to leave off your website maybe that people usually put on there? Or like what are some things that people do that like they think they're doing good, Lucas, but they're actually creating some challenges?
Yeah, I mean, I would say simplify as much as possible. You do want people to know your policies and procedures, and especially in the world we're living in right now, most everyone has a COVID policy, so it's great to have it on your site. But try to simplify as much as you can. We do recommend having your team on there. We want to have as much content as we can, but we don't want to bog the user down. A lot of push these days from certain areas is to include a blog with your website. And it can be a tricky, difficult option for salons and salon owners, because if you are not active on your blog monthly, it could just look like a stale business. If someone goes to your blog and the last post was 3 years ago, what do you think? Are they really active in their business? Is it still open? And then the thought of, okay, I can rank my website better with a blog can sometimes be a little misleading as well.
Right.
Because are you really targeting that localized traffic with your blog? So in my opinion, a lot of times it can be too much work for very little benefit for a blog. So our recommendation is to leave it off, unless you just have a passion for writing.
Yeah, you want to blog all the time. Yeah, probably not. That's not the top tip.
Things. Yeah, if you want to be the industry expert in something, that absolutely, and you want to grow your personality. But if you think adding the blog just to get new clients is going to work, I wouldn't bank on it.
Probably not.
Right.
Yeah, that's super helpful. And by the way, you guys, I saw Leah on here. By the way, producer Bob, if you can do me a favor and throw up Leah's comment. She said she loves Lucas, which is always a good day. By the way, shout out to producer Bob making it happen today, getting it done. But yeah, Leah, I know Leah is a client of yours, Lucas. She loves working with you. You've done all kinds of great work for her website, and her whole team there. But if you do want to get more information from Lucas today and find out a little bit more about some of the things that we offer through them, that we have a partnership together with them, that they give us some special deals for only listeners of the Evo Revo show and our High Performance Salon Academy clients. We've included a link in the chat below where you can click it and go in and get some information. Or if you want to go to a URL that you may or may not remember, it's salon.marketing/partners/HPSA. Again, salon.marketing/partners/HPSA, and you'll get some great information from Lucas and their team on how you can set up a new website, how you can get some SEO done. I think it's a great place to do it. Or send me a DM and I'll hook you up with Lucas's information. That's no big deal. I'll make sure the two of you guys get connected. And Lucas has got a whole team of people creating websites, managing SEO for lots of accounts inside our High Performance Salon Academy and with what we do. So Lucas, it's been a pleasure having you on, man. If you guys have enjoyed these hot tips, do me a favor and say hot tips in the chat. Lucas, thank you for being here, man. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Jason. I appreciate it as well.
All right, guys, have a great day, and don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. And if you've enjoyed the show and you want to be part of what we do, make sure you leave us a review, and we'll thank you for doing that because it helps get the information out to other salon owners all over the place. Ooh, and this is a good comment to leave up last. Again, producer Bob, if you can throw this up for me. My new clients from Google are rolling in since working with Lucas. See, there you go, Leah. Hot tips. I like it. That's a good day. If you want to have new clients rolling in or your phone ringing, I highly recommend you head over to Salon.Marketing. No .com at the end, just Salon.Marketing. Hit enter. I promise it'll get you where you need to go. You'll see a great website. And also, go snoop Lucas's website. Go check it out. Make sure it's something that's helpful for you. So, Lucas, have a great day, man. Enjoy your time in Savannah.
All right. Have a
Thanks
good
for
one.
listening to the Evo Revo podcast.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Salon Scale, allowing you to charge by what you know, not by what you feel.
Please subscribe, leave us a review, and you can always get more information, including show notes and the video episodes at evorevopodcast.com.